Start your day with Business Day.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this was a commendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Good morning and welcome to the BDTV Breakfast Show. I am Bethel Obujabi.
My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And this is the social listening segment on the BDTV Breakfast Show.
We're talking about the Fly Nigeria Act. Can you give us a background into what this is about?
We are here today on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to gather opinion about a pressing issue.
I go look at the cost of petrol.
We get away from Nigeria with the suffer.
The income is not really increasing, but the prices of items are increased.
Nothing like savings again. No. You only pray for that money to reach you that month.
There's a lot of high pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of high targets to be met.
I was quite strict. In my mind, I said, looking for my hand, my picking go spoil.
To allow all banks and all the players in the space
15% inflation target achievable in 2025.
The command and vision philosophy of both the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and indeed all the service chiefs.
Top of the morning, viewers. This is the BDTV Breakfast Show. My name is Elizabeth Musa. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday morning. Let's see what's making the headlines today. APC elects Nentawe Yuwada, Humanitarian Minister, as National Chairman. One-year T-bills yields drops to 18.86% despite MPC holding rate. SEC grants no objection to 323 billion naira first holdco shares deal. EU chief says ties with China is at inflection point. Canal Plus acquires full ownership of MultiChoice in $3 billion deal. Well, let's begin the news in Nigeria, where the ruling All Progressives Congress has elected the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Nentawe Yuwada, as the national chairman. This decision was made at the party's 14th National Executive Council meeting held at the Presidential Villa on Thursday, 24th of July. According to reports, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodinma, nominated him for the position, seconded by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin. The APC national chairmanship position has been vacant following the resignation of Umar Ganduje last month. Moving on, the yield on one-year Treasury bills has continued its downward trajectory, falling to 18.86% despite the Monetary Policy Committee decision to hold rate. Reports reveal that the consistent decline observed in recent auctions suggests a more stable and predictable market for government securities after a period of elevated yields driven by high inflation and aggressive monetary policy tightening. The report showed that the one-year bill dropped to 18.86% at the auction on Wednesday, 23rd of July, compared to 29.21% at the start of the year. This decline is despite the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN voting to keep the benchmark policy rate unchanged at 27.5% on Tuesday. Still on, the Securities and Exchange Commission has granted no objection to the 323.45 billion naira first holdco off-market deal that occurred on July 16. The regulator, in a statement made public on Thursday, clarified its role in the deal following public speculation over the nature of its involvement. According to the Commission, this review was carried out in line with existing laws and regulatory requirements, emphasizing that there were no subsequent requests for additional information. Addressing circulating reports, the SEC revealed that its communication with the parties involved should not be misconstrued as a query, automated compliance mechanism designed to ensure transparency of transactions in the Nigerian capital market. To end the local news, the People's Democratic Party has shifted its national elective convention, originally planned for August, to November 2025. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Thursday after the party's 101st National Executive Committee meeting, PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba announced that the convention will now take place in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, instead of the previously announced venue in Kano State. The NEC also reportedly approved the membership of both the National Convention Committee and the Zoning Committee to ensure a transparent and credible electoral process. According to Ologunagba, the party leadership expressed satisfaction with the resolution of internal disputes, describing it as evidence of PDP's commitment to unity and dialogue. The secretary insists that the party remains strong, united, and ready to offer Nigerians a viable alternative to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. And on the foreign scene, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has told her Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping that EU-China relations have reached an inflection point. Von der Leyen, referring to the European Union's huge trade deficit with China, says both cooperation and imbalances have deepened, was warning that China's ties with Russia were now the determining factor in its relations with the EU. Xi urged EU leaders to properly manage differences, saying that the current challenges facing Europe do not come from China. Also, about 49 people are found dead after a passenger plane crashed in Russia's Far East on Thursday, the 24th of July. According to reports, the plane was flying from the city of Blagoveshchensk to Tinda, a remote town and key railway hub in the Amur region near the Chinese border, when it disappeared from radar while preparing to land. Video footage circulating across media showed that the Russian Antonov An-24 passenger plane had crashed in a densely forested area with smoke rising from the site. The plane was reportedly operated by Angara, a privately owned regional airline based in Siberia, and was built in 1976, previously used by the Soviet flag carrier Aeroflot before the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. And now to sports. French media conglomerate Canal Plus has officially acquired full ownership of MultiChoice Group, the parent company of DSTV and GoTV, in a landmark $3 billion deal. The acquisition, which gives Canal Plus the remaining 55% stake in the company, was approved by South Africa's Competition Tribunal on Wednesday, 23rd of July 2025. According to reports, the approval comes after months of intense negotiations and regulatory reviews, paving the way for the deal to be finalized by October 8, 2025. While the tribunal gives the green light, it imposed several public interest conditions to protect local content, maintaining South Africa's media sovereignty. To end the news, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71 after emergency services were dispatched to his Florida residence early Thursday morning following a call described as a cardiac arrest. Reported several police and emergency vehicles at the scene, where Hogan was seen taken from home on a stretcher and loaded into an ambulance. In an earlier report, Hogan's wife Sky had publicly dismissed online rumors suggesting the WWE star was in a coma, asserting that his heart was strong while he was recovering well from the recent surgeries. In 1996, Hogan, born Terry Bollea, famously reinvented himself by switching from fan favorite to villain, forming the legendary New World Order faction and adopting the moniker Hollywood Hogan. Well, that does it this morning on the BDTV Breakfast News. My name is Elizabeth Musa. Coming up next is a newspaper review. Do stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this was a commendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
Good morning and welcome to the BDTV Breakfast Show. I am Bethel with the B.
My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And this is the social listening segment on the BDTV Breakfast Show.
We're talking about the Fly Nigeria Act. Can you give us a background into what this is about?
We are here today on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to gather opinion about a pressing issue.
I go look at the cost of petrol.
We get very Nigeria with the suffer.
The income is not really increasing, but the prices of items are increased.
Nothing like service again, no. You only pray for that money to reach you that month.
There's a lot of high pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of high targets to be met.
I was quite strict. In my mind, I said, looking for my hand, my picking go spoil.
To allow all banks and all the players in the space
15% inflation target achievable in 2025.
The command and vision philosophy of both the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and indeed all the service chiefs.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
You are watching Business Day Television.
Welcome back. This is still the BDTV Breakfast Show, and now we are ready to see what we have on the front pages of the papers this morning. My name is still Elizabeth Musa, and of course, I'm joined in the studio with
Onyeka Valentine.
Yes, and thank God it's Friday.
Yes, I'm almost tempted to sing, but let's just let it pass.
No, but and that's why it's Friday. Friday is like that cool
God it's Friday.
Hey, let me give you guys what I can do. Let's harmonize.
You better be ready because
who's going to kill it?
Well, it will shock you. I've always been a vocal person when it comes to music.
We will compliment each other. Right, I was in the choir. Do you know? I was in the choir.
Which means you have the talent running through.
Yes, I was in the choir for the longest time. I used to lead.
But the power of broadcasting stole you over.
So I had to pick one. It takes a lot of commitment.
All right, so let's
see what we have on the front page of the paper this morning. Starting off with the Business Day paper, of course, this morning. The story here says, Enugu electricity tariff sparks nationwide call for lower rates. That's the big story on the Business Day paper this morning. And then we see another story on the top side of the Business Day paper. It says 2027, El Rufai Obi may dump ADC over Atiku's ambition. Obedient mandate Dati to begin peace building process with Abure-led LP. And still on the Business Day paper this morning, it says Nigeria's tourism industry powers growth across multiple sectors. Obviously, this is on the back of the event we had yesterday, the tourism event which we had yesterday at Business Day. So this story is coming from that event. And then another story here says why Nigeria's streaming platforms struggle to stay afloat. Those are the stories today on the Business Day paper this morning. Let's start off with Enugu electricity tariff sparking nationwide call for lower rates. Are we really going to see lower rates?
So, for what we know, nothing has seemed to ever come down in our great country, Nigeria.
Yes, nothing comes down. It only goes up.
Looky, up. But we pray as it goes up, let it be matched with great income. Let people and livelihoods don't be left behind. But however, if the tariffs are going to slam us hard, almost going to give us the Donald Trump effect in your own home, then at least let us get what is worth. If tariffs are going to be high, let us get the power. If the power is going to be all band A, but it's not going to be possible, then let them fix that which will make it all band A so that everybody enjoys the benefit and what they're paying for. Nigerians don't mind to pay for things because Nigerians are hard-working people. But the question still remains, which is, if I pay for it, will I be caught short? And if I'm caught short, how long will I stay before I start taking shortcuts? In other words, if I pay for this thing and I'm not getting my money's worth, look, it's only a matter of time when, or to an extent where you push someone to the wall, and you begin to see them getting involved in electricity theft by cutting meters. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm saying that the Nigerians out there who are going through a lot, and when they see that, okay, we're paying for this, the tariff is now high, but are we getting the electricity or are we getting low current? And there's something we don't know. Do you know, I might be wrong, but again, it's just to mention it out. Do you know if you use prepaid and you pay and you recharge, so I use prepaid and you load, I realized something, which is this. If I consume amount of electricity in a month, right? But that month I recorded, maybe I experienced low current. It is still the same money that goes out of it, the same units. Which means that if I don't get full current, how do I power my AC? How do I use the iron? Right? There's some certain equipment at home that you want to use. So if the power is not sufficient enough, those things are just probably relics in your house. So you give me low current, and then I pay high tariffs. Who's losing?
How often do we get to see this low current?
So it all depends on the part of those who live in Lagos. Some certain areas, the low current could be caused not necessarily by those who generate the power. It could just be your neighborhood, transformer that's not strong enough. meaning to say someone is boycotting and not buying the exact transformer that needs to power that area.
Right.
So that whole inconsistency will make you as an end user begin to question to say, so the tariffs are getting high, right? Am I enjoying it? No. And it's only a matter of time. You're not careful. Those who already have seen it as the Nigeria we did, which is not a good thing, by the way, will begin to think about how to circumvent the grid, or better, worse, circumvent the whole strategy of electricity from the pole to the house through your meter. And of course, that obviously is a crime. Electricity theft is a crime. But a lot of Nigerians will now begin to think, is this the way out? Now, this is just a word out. There is no excuse for you to boycott your meter, whatever it is. Don't do it.
No single excuse.
Electricity theft is a big issue. Right?
Yes.
Don't go and start fighting.
When they come for you.
Yes, the staffs, none at all. So if the tariff is high, then minimize what you use at home. Really, if you have like 3 ACs, you cut it down. If you live in a 3-bedroom with 3 ACs, 1 in the living room, 2 in your master room, 1 in your children's room, or whatever, just cut it down. You know, scale like you say, cut your coat according to your size. You know, so that's basically what it is. The tariffs, I believe, might be for a good reason. I hope as the money is being remitted and is being recorded, that is not being moved to a personal account or diverted somewhere. Let us see accountability. As we generate that money, let's use it for what it's worth, or what it's meant for. You know, and other than that,
all right.
God help us all.
Oh, God help us all, really. And still on God helping us all, let's go to the 2027 election plans, where El-Rufai and Obi may dump ADC over Atiku's ambition. Now, this is from reliable sources.
Right.
So obviously, the story here says that El-Rufai and Obi may have to dump ADC because former vice president plans to run for presidency on the platform of ABC, you know, on the bucket or on the ticket of the party. So I think this goes back to what you were saying. You were saying then.
So I don't know those who were born in the 70s. There's this movie called The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I begin to see, you know, a replica of what we used to watch back in the days. It was all, you know, a movie that was shot in that whole, who's the good, who's the bad, who's the ugly? Right? That's the question now. And it's a very powerful one. Because you look at it, you have El-Rufai, you have Obi, you have Atiku.
So you are saying we have to, wait,
are you giving me all actors
task,
now?
or are you giving me this task now to now determine? Because there are actually 3.
Ugly. You
so
know,
who's going to be the good?
Well, Obi might just be the good. Now let's leave
the bad
and the ugly. Let's allow Atiku and El-Rufai to begin to struggle that one out. But whichever it is, as political, because I call them political actors. Now, them saying this, that they might dump ADC, it puts ADC on a shaky ground. So who would we want to say they might want to leverage with? Because let's be honest, if these 3, you know, major political heads, I call them heads because they've ended their stripes.
Right.
If they threaten to leave the party, which means they've seen some irregularities in the party, they've sensed that, look, this is going to be leading nowhere. There's a brick wall ahead of us. And since there's a brick wall, it will cause a bottleneck. Because the bottleneck, it causes frustration. Because of frustration, then alteration comes out. And so in politics, once there's alteration, the politics is really heated. Who will back down for who? So the best thing to do is, before it gets any worse, let us call up this marriage and just say it was nice while it lasted. You know, and they move to other things.
So it's good while it lasted.
Exactly. But now the question now is this.
But that was short-lived.
I mean, could it be shorter than what happened to Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
That marriage was too short. It was too short.
You know, so for me, I think at the end of the day, politics is what it is. We are bound to see, I agree, I don't agree. It is allowed, right? But no fighting. But the question now is, when you see disagree, which other party are you going to move to? 3 of them will have no business going back to their vomit, which is PDP, right? And of course, they wouldn't want to go with the ruling party. They've had already bad blood with the ruling party. So which leaves them with one choice, to go and create their own individual parties. Nigeria is a multi-party system. And so the question lies, If it's a multi-party system, you're allowed to go and have Atiku Power Industry or whatever, or go and have Obi Power, whatever, go and have Erufai, whatever it is, right? And see if you have your followers. But let's don't forget, the party mainly is being piloted by the person who is the party ticket bearer. I'll leave it there for now.
Okay, let's leave it there and move on to another story here. Still on the front page of the Business Day paper this morning, it says, why Nigerian streaming platforms struggle to stay afloat. Obviously, this is research work done by our entertainment reporter, Anthony Udugba, just highlighting some of the reasons why Nigerian streaming platforms struggle to stay afloat. But, you know, just your own thoughts.
So,
what are your thoughts? Why do you think it's happening?
So for someone who is, or rather who has been in entertainment, you know, I've been in the entertainment industry. We are actually in the entertainment industry, even though we are in the mainstream media where we give news and broadcasting. But most of us have this background I have a background of, you know, acting, modeling, and all those things. And when you have those content, you want to put them online, hoping that, you know, you make some money. At that time, it wasn't really known to everyone that you can make money from online content. But moving forward now, people begin to see this is possible, right? So the question now is this particular industry saturated? It is in that saturation that could cause those who run the algorithm to say, wait a minute, do we create some stifle in this thing? Do we make it more difficult? If you realize before now, YouTube didn't really have all this, you know, checks to say you must hit this mark, hit that before you begin to earn, right? Likewise, other platforms. So newer platforms are coming and learning, look, YouTube put up this, you know, deal breaker, and actually people had to yield. So they pushed us more, we yield. Other people are learning, other online platforms are learning. So look, let us make it free for like 2-3 months, then ask them to pay, and people will pay. But to make justice to what Anthony said, I don't think he's far from the truth, right? It will get harder because more people are now saying, oh, if I can see this content creator who I know used to probably not necessarily beg, but squeeze and going through a lot of hardship, but all of a sudden, you know, is now making a lot of money from doing something crazy or something funny on the internet, and is making a lot of money. Building houses, content creators now are making a lot of money. Those who really know what they're doing.
Honestly, they're doing
a lot of money.
Their lives have changed.
Exactly. You know, likes of Brain Jotter, likes of what's the other one's name? Mr. Funny, likes of Mr. Macaron. You'll now realize, wait a minute, is that where the new gold mine is? Believe it or not, data is the new gold mine.
And there's Mark Angel who
he just opened him and Emanuela at the time. So young people have now seen, if we don't fit into the mainstream market of oil and gas and other areas, and if we don't fit into the downstream market where you have market women, you know, running logistics and every other thing, let us create our own parallel market and use it to our benefit. Now, this is what those owners of those platforms have now done. Those streaming platforms, they've realized that Nigerians are boycotting different ways to make it. People are spending money to go and buy views, buy this, buy that, so that they can begin to earn. So,
interesting. And
they have narrowed it down to Nigeria, Africa, and say, look, Nigerians are doing a lot. They see these things. The algorithm doesn't lie. It's there. They see the statistics, they see the inside, they see everything. And so they're creating new ways to create stifle. So, this is now the case. What's the way forward? You know.
Okay. And let's look at the final story. It says Nigeria's tourism industry powers growth across multiple sectors. I mean, we've always known that one industry that we're not maybe we know its potential. We know how we have a lot of mineral resource. We have
blessed with endowed.
We're blessed
and endowed.
Yeah, we're blessed with nature in Nigeria, that we should actually do more with tourism.
I agree with you.
But we just have a problem of maintenance. We have a problem of creating systems that work, because there are people that benefit from systems that don't work. So we have that challenge. But look at the story here now, and you know, speaking from the conference that we had yesterday, which I did host, you know, the special advisor to the governor on Obu Ranch had spoken about some of the amazing things that Obu Ranch offers, and which I've also been to the ranch when I was serving, and it's a lovely place. But the problem that we have, because you expect that should be a place that is getting so much publicity. You know how out of the country people are talking about how much they want to visit the Table Mountain in Cape Town, how much that should be how people are talking about Obu Ranch. It's a huge sell. But how much do we even market it? No, even if we market it, how well is the place maintained that you're not thinking to yourself, will I go on a cable car and be stuck somewhere? You know,
snap.
You know, all of those exactly. Well, with this thing snap, you're looking at it, this thing like this. Let me not go and do adventure, and then it's another story.
You hit the nail on the head, and I will tell you, it saddens my heart to hear 2025 that Obu Ranch is not raking in at least 1/10 of what the 1/10 of the money the country needs to thrive yearly. Tourism is a big deal. There are some countries that don't have anything under the earth. They have no rare earth mineral. They have nothing like oil and gas. All they depend on is the tourism, and they have made a huge industry, from it. Meaning to say, the three major things that make tourism thrive: hospitality, right, destination, and travel. It is three things that are the nucleus for tourism is looked into. I bet you by now we'll be speaking a different language. But this is the challenge now. It's not a natural disaster. It's a human disaster. I don't know if it's a plague or maybe it's something you want to call within the ambience of stupidity. I don't know what it is. But we have a terrible maintenance culture.
Yeah.
When Donald Duke was the governor of Cross River, and everybody wanted to go to Obu Ranch, it wasn't magic. It wasn't some voodoo or whatever it is.
The problem we have in Nigeria is then somebody else. So when something good is happening, and I think if we have more individuals that don't think that way, when someone else comes, this thing that was working, that was good, that it was your idea, they want to not make it work because they want to bring their own, because they don't want it to they don't want to contribute to the success of what it is that you are doing.
That's the point.
And that's the problem that we have.
So that particular behavior is called, there's particularly what they call it, I've forgotten, but where if I'm not going to go through the door, you're not going to go through the door. So at the end of the day, let the whole building collapse. You see, this is the thing I'm talking about. Until we begin to see ourselves as a nation that can build and thrive, not individual sentiments in the matter. Look, it will be difficult.
Because
10 years forward, 10 steps forward, 20 steps backwards. Obu Ranch business being broke.
I don't want us to make it an Obu Ranch. I want us to make it a
tourism
general thing. Yes, because it seems like we're focusing on that. It's a general thing. If we talk about Lekki Conservation Center,
I was coming there also.
If we talk about
there are a lot of other places.
Fasi Park.
Yes. Although I can't rub it off them, they are trying their best, right? I haven't been to those areas.
Places have been there. These places have become a shadow of themselves. Last time I went there, it was like, my friends were like,
are you sure
waiting with this one?
Kidnapped
or something? Because the mosquitoes,
right?
Fine, it's green area and all of that.
Mosquitoes are part of the tourist attraction.
It's green area. So
if you've not been bitten before by mosquito, if you come from a different country, I want to travel and go and see what it's like to be bitten by mosquito. Anyways, we pray our tourism sector, picks up and probably makes some more money. But we're not doing bad with the hotels. Our hotels are not doing badly because a lot of events are coming in. A lot of people want to have conferences, want to have events. A lot of stuff has to happen, and our hotels are. I don't know what the index is now for how much they're raking in, but so far I think activities.
But I think they still need to work on the hospitality side of things, even in the hotels. Yeah, the hotels are doing well, but if we go to other countries and you look at the 5-star experience in Nigeria and the 5-star experience in other countries,
there's a big gap.
There's a big difference. If you're talking about, so myself and my siblings, we went out on Friday and over the weekend, and we went somewhere that we would say it's a 5-star, and she was saying to me like, this is not, because like there's a like the chair at turn. Those are the details that you would never be missing out of the country. Like you can't see a turn chair and then it's a 5-star like that ambassadors come to, you know.
Those details are quite important.
Yeah, those details, every detail matters. So I think we need to do better in terms of pay. It still goes back to maintenance, and also maybe it's about the people. Maybe they need to train people abroad, you know, because if you are doing the training here, it's still the same thing, so that they also see how these things work. And they have to, while these hotels are making this money, they have to invest
back
in training
in the whole industry.
Do you understand? They have to invest in the human resources. It's one thing to make this money and maybe buy nice things, and, you know, just to, but also train the staff so they understand. They understand what's valet service in a Nigerian 5-star hotel and compared to other. You would feel it. It's not just about come and pack the car and move.
You know, there's what they call the ripple effect. If someone is not living well, his salary is not, quote and unquote, salary. It's a Nigerian term, by the way, for those of you who don't know. We have to create our own vocab from some. So if your salary is not salary, how do you come to work and put up a smile? And you see, the thing about hospitality is about the smile. I have worked in the hospitality sector before when I was a bit younger. And I remember very well that the guy will tell you, the manager then will tell you, I was in the PR sector. Say, look, no matter what it is, no matter how bad you've had your day before, once you step into the compound, put up a smile. Even if you have to fake it, put up a smile.
Yes.
Because those who are coming to your hotel are not coming because they don't have somewhere else to go to.
It's like those of us on TV, even when you're having a bad day, I'm not going to come here and be like,
goes, camera light action.
Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show. You're not going to light camera action, and you have to make people. So that's just what it should be for them.
So I think, like you rightly said, I agree with you. Let us begin to train the trainers.
Yes.
Begin to have more. Maybe I should take that as a job. I mean, to see, okay, how do I create a lot of seminars to train those in the hospitality sector?
I did.
I'll make some money.
I will stand by you.
We wish the best for our sector,
really,
right?
But really, it's really important because you go to the hotel sometimes, like even the big ones, that's like just that's the start.
Yes,
that's the entry point. Like you say, good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. Some are not even looking at you. That's the first thing.
Which is
like
wrong.
You should even look.
Yes.
I have a very big problem because I'm very passionate about tourism, hospitality. Good afternoon, man. They're not even looking at you. That's the first thing. At least there should be that.
It puts you off.
Then I'll say, good morning. Can you hear me? I can hear you, ma. What? Okay, which hotel room? Which this thing?
And
I want you there. Am I the cause of your problems? Even if I'm the cause of your problems, like, is that what your work should be like? There's a reason why it's called front desk, hospitality.
Yes.
Ordinary front desk, you need to be that personable person. You give a smile, you're welcoming. Talk less of now being in a hotel. And then you just see this.
Have you ever called a hotel where, look, someone answers, there's a customer service, he answers, or she answers, she goes, hello, yes. Go ahead. Yes. What do you want?
That yes thing is even very
it's so
rude. It's so rude.
You know, I think they're doing you a favor.
Rash.
But anyways,
I hope
they are watching. I hope they're watching, and I hope those who are the major industry captains begin to say, wait a minute, if we in media have experienced these things, imagine the millions of Nigerians or people around the world who might have experienced such. And you know, this is not peculiar to Nigeria. Thank God you travel just where I travel. You have go to some certain hotels that maybe someone, or you call on the phone, say, I want to make a reservation, and the person doesn't sound nice, and you wonder, wait, these things happen outside the country. So it could be a human thing. Let's just throw Nigerians under the bus.
Human thing. Maybe some humans are more human than the other.
You know what others. Some humans are more human.
They're more human than the others. But let's go to the Punch paper this morning and see what we have on the front page of the Punch paper this morning. Very political this Friday morning. Post-NEC meeting says APC PDP set stage for epic 2027 face-off. New APC chair Wada vows Tinubu's return. Makinde Bala lead PDP governors in 20. And on the top side of the Punch paper this morning, it says, states slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy. This is from the NERC, NERC. And on page 22, it says, this man killed in Plateau attacks. You know, I'm really sick of seeing these killings. And on page 7, it says, Natasha to serve out suspension as Senate enters recess. Natasha. Then APC NEC meeting, PDP NEC meeting ongoing. That's a picture from the meetings. Then on page 3, it says APC power chess. Uwada Peak, Brighton, Shetima, and Northeast 2027 chance.
There's a line there that I think you need to look into.
What's
it says Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. CDS says.
Where is this line?
Somewhere here.
Oh, really? Oh.
Now that is a big issue, isn't it? You don't think so?
That's a really big issue.
Wait, so go ahead, please.
No, I think you should. Then maybe let's just
because I mean,
on that story.
As cheerful as we are on TV and we are happy, we want to go back to our homes, not thinking about one crazy person, an assault weapon. Because if Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms, are you saying that if it's spread across, which means every Nigerian has a gun? Again, it doesn't work that way. Meaning to say, if we have 200 illegal arms, where did they pass into this country? Do we have like a local manufacturing?
But who is creating them?
Because this is a big issue. If the chief of defense staff can say this, which means they've done their homework well. And if you've heard him talk, he's a very smart, intelligent gentleman. I must give it to him. The chief of defense staff is intelligent, gentleman. Said this, they've done their homework. And I think it's a big issue because if we have guns in different hands of people who want to create mayhem, it's a big issue. No other sector can work if the security personnel are worried about security issues in the nation. Insecurity, I think, is a very big fundamental issue. Otherwise, no one can come and invest. Can you imagine a country that lacks investment, which means no jobs, which means people become, bottlenecks. And hunger is now becomes the in thing already. And an angry man, a hungry man is an angry man. An angry man, only God knows. So if we're looking at this as a statistic, and this is a statement, saying Nigeria harbors over 200 million, legal arms.
That's a problem. But on the good side, we were speaking on tourism just on the BusinessDay paper before we move to the Punch paper. There's a story here on page 22 that says Makinde unveils new Oyo tourist hub master plan.
We have just been slapping our face.
Yes. You guys are talking. You don't know that we're working on something. We're cooking.
We need to give him some kudos for
that.
We're
cooking. Yes, we have to.
Governor Sheyi,
I think he's one of the governors that are doing really well.
Yes. So Governor Sheyi, if you're listening, Elizabeth and I were giving you kudos.
Well
Please,
done. Well done to Governor Sheyi Makinde. We are behind you, and we hope that the right systems, the right people to power this project also.
Yes.
There's nothing like coming up with a good project and having the right hands to pilot this project, because you can't do everything, and you can't even lead and manage everything. You have to have people that actually buy into the project and will actually do everything. So hopefully Oyo State is easily, they say, is it not the biggest?
So they say land mass, but it's not necessarily the biggest state in Nigeria. Maybe
it's also busy though, and it's also busy.
Ibadan is a very
I remember back in the days. I've really gone. I've really moved. I remember back in the days when
I've almost tempted to call you.
No, I've actually really moved.
Johnny of Elizabeth.
Johnny Walker, keep walking.
All right.
Okay, let's move to the Guardian paper this morning. On the front page of the Guardian paper this morning, I think this is really important as we hit the weekend.
Yes.
Because we have to check our health. The front page of the Vanguard paper this morning says, too much of a good thing. The big story is on page 4 and 5. How unchecked dietary supplement turn toxic and lure many to early, I'm not saying early, they lure many to early grave. And then you see this says balanced diet and supplements. Balanced diet on one side, supplements on one side. how unchecked dietary supplement turned toxic and lured many to an early grave. We'll come to the other stories, but I think we really need to talk about this. Health is important because health is wealth.
Again, we cannot overemphasize the fact that health is wealth and is important. If you're listening back home, sometimes we are too busy to carry out this routine every 3 months check. Go see what your body is saying, and your body gives you a lot of signs. However, for people who believe that all the nutrients we need might not be found in our daily diet, and so doctors are quick to now prescribe some supplements.
The funny thing, I'll be honest with you, in good hospitals, many doctors don't actually prescribe supplements. Supplements is always at the pharmacies. It's people that go to pharmacies. They just go because pharmacies are trying to sell. Doctors ideally will always tell you to eat right, eat a balanced diet, exercise. They will always emphasize on sleep. We don't even know how important sleep.
I'm guilty of
yes,
that.
I'm also guilty because
the sleep thing is a big issue.
I sleep late, I wake up early. Doctors will always tell you, it's a worst case scenario situation. They will tell you, oh, we need you to be on maybe vitamin D supplement. It's always maybe there's a deficit that they've seen, and obviously for us to get there, you quickly need to be on supplement, and then but they'll still emphasize on your diet. So, and it's not for you to be on the supplement. It's just they've seen this deficit, or you understand, maybe vitamin A, vitamin whatever. Dropping. So, we need to put you on this supplement for XYZ time, and then it's just for that time, and then you go back. But it's always it's pharmacies, and it's just self-prescription.
You know,
people say I'm on what's this thing that ladies take. I had to tell myself. There was a time I went to the hospital, and my doctor was like, "Oh, what do you take? What's your this thing?" And I told her that I take XYZ thing. I was feeling so proud. I was like, "Oh, but I live a very healthy lifestyle." She said, "Okay, so what's your healthy lifestyle like?" I told her the things. I said, "I'm on this supplement." She said, "Who prescribed?" I'm like, "Oh, just women. We take
on the internet.
Women." I said, "Women." She said, "Which women?" She said, "If you tell me you do all these other things you do, then you don't need the supplement." She said, "That's why it's called supplement." She said, "Supplement is that okay." Because if you're telling me you eat right, because I was telling her what my food is like. So she was like, if you're telling me you do all these things, then you don't need supplement. She said, it's called supplement for a reason. Supplement that, this person cannot get all this nutrient. They can't afford in terms of time and all that. So let's supplement. So she told me, get off it. Get off it. You're feeding, because I had issues, and she was like, you're even feeding this issue more.
Issue with this thing.
So yes. So people need to know, because it's always in the pharmacy that you just walk in. Pharmacies that from they're just out of secondary school or out of this thing.
And just come and tell you. Over-the-counter drugs, and the ones that are not over-the-counter.
Yes.
Most pharmacists will give you the one to sell, they will sell it to you.
They want to just
sell. This is the bad part. Sorry, I'm cutting you. The bad part is social media is not helping either.
How is social media coming in here?
Now, our attention span when it comes to our phones getting shorter and shorter. So these marketing geniuses and people who know how to market, supplements and the brands, they have become so good at it that they know where to hold you, put you in the hook. So as you're going through your social media page or whatever it is, it pops up, and says, look, are you having this? Are you having that? Are you having that? You're still doing this? Well, sorry, man, the doctor is taking so much money from you. Why not try this supplement? And your mind of mind, wait a minute, if XYZ celebrity have tried it out and they're not going to the doctor more often or spending money, maybe I should try it out too. And you might say, well, it might not harm me.
And it's to pop up on your sponsor.
It will, that's it.
And you even see some of these cosmetologists, because that's what I'll call them, cosmetologists, just people that sell products. You just see them in the product, and it's always celebs that use all the celebs that don't even. They'll just say, we also have so glow tablets, so something.
And you wonder,
like,
because they look, you don't even know if it's photoshopped, but they look very, very good.
And then people would also go for it.
But they don't tell you what they're dealing with afterwards. Some of them just go mute for 6 months and come back. You don't know if that person fell seriously sick and is dealing with some almost terminal illness, but just by the grace of God, he or she now came back, and they'll go back to marketing those things because those brands are paying them a lot of money. So I think we should also be careful what our brand influencers right? And making us believe. I don't want to call their names, but they know themselves. They know exactly what they're doing.
You want to call names?
Just call one or two right
they
now.
Know themselves.
We'll try for a good reason.
I don't know who they are. So you're saying they know themselves. Well, we have to go now, but really, it's a weekend, and that story was just really important. Supplements are supplements for a reason. It's to supplement for what is missing.
And ask your doctor
if that thing is not missing, too much of everything is even bad. Because so if you have the vitamin C necessary in your body, you're taking your fruits. If you have the vitamin A necessary, the vitamin D necessary, in terms of all the kinds of food you eat, and you're supplementing, you are having too much of it, and you shouldn't have too much of it in your body. That could also cause harm. So too much of a good thing can be bad. So let's work
Dr. Elizabeth.
I'm very passionate about health, but let's work on our diet and just health. Sleep well. It's the weekend. I'm also speaking to myself. I also try to sleep well and eat well as well. But yeah, let's have a lovely weekend. We can't take the cartoon of the day today, but this is a good way for us to end. Let's end on a healthy note.
Yes.
Let's do it right and do it healthy. But that's where we close the curtains here on the newspaper review on the BDTV Breakfast Show. Up next is Business Morning. Do stay with us.
All right.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this is a recommendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Good morning and welcome to the BDTV Breakfast Show. I am Bethel Ogunjobi.
My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And this is the social listening segment on the BDTV Breakfast Show.
We're talking about the Fly Nigeria Act. Can you give us a background into what this is about?
We are here today on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to gather opinion about a pressing issue.
I go look at the cost of petrol. We get very for Nigeria with the suffer.
The income is not really increasing, but the prices of items are increased.
Nothing like savings again, no. You only pray for that money to reach you that month.
There's a lot of high pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of high targets to be met.
I was quite strict. In my mind, I said, nothing from my hand, my picking go spoil.
To allow all banks and all the players in the space
15% inflation target achievable in 2025.
The command and vision philosophy of both the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and indeed all the service chiefs.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
You are watching Business Day Television.
Good morning and welcome to Business Morning here on Business Day TV. It's Friday, July 25th, 2025. I am Destiny Momo. Thank you for starting your day with me as I bring you clear data-driven insights into the forces shaping Nigeria's business and economic landscape. From policy shifts to market trends, we go beyond the headlines to provide the experts, analyses, and context you need to make informed decisions. So right now, let's move to the first conversation for today. We're talking about logistics in Nigeria. And now the logistics value chain in Nigeria encompasses the series of activities required to move goods from origin to end users, including transportation, warehousing, inventory management, and distribution. Nigeria's logistics sector is actually experiencing growth fueled by e-commerce and infrastructure development. But it also faces challenges related to infrastructure deficits, policy inconsistencies, and security concerns. For growth, but realize improvement. By investing in infrastructure, adopting technology, and also fostering collaboration, full potential of its logistics economic competitiveness. And now joining us this morning to dissect the logistics sector is Dr. Onyeka Michael. He is a business and logistics expert. Good morning, Mr. Onyeka.
Fine morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to see you. All right. What are the major components of the logistics value chain currently active in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. One of the major components of logistic company is transportation. And by transportation, we're talking about the road, we're talking about air, and we're talking about both land and sea. Of course, 60% of this, but the road is, in fact, I'm going to dissect it later as we talk about it. Talk about transportation, we talk about freight, we talk about return logistics. In that aspect, we're talking of these young people who take goods from one place to the other in real time. We also talk there about warehousing too, where we take goods from one place to the other. And this warehousing we're talking about, there's this for urban centers like Lagos, we have places where goods are stored. Then we have the cold chain logistics. This has to do with the perishable goods. One of the good things about this is that Nigeria has been able to save about 60% of product, especially tomato, as a result of the logistic success. In the course of the discussion, I will share more about that. But these alone are the major, major pointers.
Okay. But how can you say that the logistics in Nigeria, that industry, how can you say it has evolved in the last 5 years? Because I see that a lot of people are running into the logistics business saying it's actually very lucrative. So do you think it has evolved in the last 5 years?
Yes, positively it has. And I'll tell you how. When the logistics business started, in fact, it started post-recession, 2017. At that time, they were locked down, real-time lockdown. People were in their houses. People could not transact. And one of the things that happened then was it created, how do we get my goods to people? Now, those who took charge of it, in their numbers, made money. They started, and then with the increase, with the interest, every business now found the need to take their services to the people, door-to-door delivery and all of that. So it spurred interest, like every other industry. When you start, I want to make a little assertion away from what we're talking. The pure water business, the nylon, and then people came up with the bottle, and people. So as you bring up a new innovation, they could now see, wow, there's a need to have an outpost where we can, take our things to these people, even where they're in their houses. It created interest. Yeah. So percentage-wise, in 2017, I think 2018, I'm not very, there were projections that such and such thing will happen within the logistic business. But if you come now, it has soared beyond what was projected. Yeah. And then we see people in because it is giving them a viable means of representing their company and their organization.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what
you're very correct on that. Like when you mentioned the COVID period, the COVID era, where a lot of people were not actually mobile, they didn't have to go anywhere. This whole logistics thing actually was very lucrative. Now, even if we say there wasn't much of business, somewhere like Lagos, where they stopped the movement of this Okada, a lot of them now turn their bikes into logistics, yes. Right? So can you say that sometimes some things that bring disadvantage always also brings advantage?
Of course, it's a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
You see, but what I want to highlight interestingly is that it created a lot of employment for young people. Okay, people now found out that okay, we could do this. We can bring the means of livelihood in a very legit way. Represent. So most young people were sucked up, especially those in the return logistic department. And the question you asked me, so I want to go back to it. You said in 5 years.
Yes.
So we can now look at it within that 5 years as it started. There's been influx of young persons. So if you want to look at the sector where young people are populated here in Nigeria, it is the logistic business.
Wow. So now how does the state of our roads, our rail, our ports, the general infrastructure impact the efficiency of logistics in Nigeria? How do you want to describe it? Is it something you're happy about, or what do you suggest?
Unfortunately, it's a very touchy subject when we talk about the infrastructure challenges, because our roads are very deplorable. I must be very honest with you. Sometimes we need to see it as it is. The road is a fact. There's been no maintenance for a long time. It has created a lot of accidents in real time. It has also created gridlock, traffic issues. So when you say you want to deliver something and then the road is not free, you will not go with it. And sometimes these things are time-based. Okay. Now I want to expand that. Not just the road. Some of us decide, okay, let us leave the road and go through other means. Because the rail, there are no articulate networks. We just have, I think the only one there now is the Kano-Madari rail lines.
Oh, wow.
So you see, it boils down again to the road. So there is bottleneck, there's gridlock. So at the end of the day, you find out that we can't do much with the road. Then if you say, okay, the sea, we have, because I'm telling you, these are the issues with Nigeria. Then the sea, we also have a lot of, and then people lose their product. And because they have what we call a distrust with that system, then there are now other mediums they're supposed to decongest, support the country. In working Senate climbs, they articulate these things so that there is no form of a bottleneck. So you can see why it's not as palatable as you want it to be, even though we try. But for now, we make use of the road because it is the most feasible, as it were.
So now talking about Apapa Port, right? What can you say is the role the ports play in decongesting, or what role do they play? Do you understand? I'm talking about Apapa Port. How do they help? Do you understand? In the congestion issue, in the value chain. What role do you think they play?
The power port plays a pivotal role, but there's been issue. In 2020, if I'm very specific, there was a deficit of 20 days that led spiral down to a lot of issues. Now you see a port that should be up and doing now have this level of this cog in the wheel of their progress. And it spirals down to every other thing because there are demorages for those who have goods to pay. And when you have that kind of operational challenges, cost, when you bring out that product, you want to inflict it on the people who will buy. I don't know if you see how it affects your product and service. And that is why when you pay so much for these logistic challenges, you want to reap means what about it. And when the system doesn't thrive, it leads to these deficits. They do morages. So if we are talking of a solution, we now know where to look at. Where are the people who are making systems like this cumbersome? I don't know if I've done justice to that.
You have actually. Now, how are the local logistics startups leveraging on this? the local logistics startups, how are they leveraging on the technology to compete, with multinational companies?
Thank you very much. That's a very good, important question. They are doing it, especially I will call names. Okay. We are trying to beat the DHLs of this world with our AI automated systems. We have a logistic company, so Somzo Logistic, and we are doing it. We automate routes. We get GPS in real time, and we give services. And even your way bills are internet digitally generated. So you see, we are trying to show the international world that we are there. We have closed the gap thoroughly. These local guys like Kobo 360, even the GIGs, are doing real digital representation of their services. And I can tell you, the patronage now is with the local guys.
Wow. So are you saying that it's a lucrative sector? Yes,
it is. It is. I will be honest with you. I think about, was it 2018, they said, the figure, I'm very amazed. But now, it's about $10 billion.
Wow.
So you see the margin, the increase is overwhelming. And everybody is there because high risk, high reward. That's where you capture, that's what you call the logistic business.
This logistics business, the way it's just metamorphosed, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. You see eateries, businesses, they all have their own, delivery, one way or the other, and it's actually working for them because it's bringing about consistency, and it's making the margin, a bit, all put together. All right, so, okay, so moving on, let's look at the cybersecurity concerns.
Okay. Yes.
The cybersecurity concerns in digitizing logistics processing.
Yes, in as much as we talk of the good side, the AI, automated routes, and all of that, there are the issues. These issues happen to be with this concern, these cyber issues you're talking about, because information can be lost. There is no adequate infrastructure to really, we have scammers, real-time scammers who meddle with payment issues and all that, and in real-time money is lost. When this money is lost, how do you get it? So what some of the advice we say about the government is to put a system in place where they can minimize such eventualities. So cyber issues are many, because if I want to, I would probably go away from the logistic company. It's like the issue of, it's a cancerous wound that has refused to heal. And because our government isn't paying so much attention to this digital part of the human endeavor in real time, because this is what, if you watch, everything is automated on your phone, you order your food from Glovo, you come. If there are issues with their payment, they will infuse it on you, the end product, and you cannot say anything.
True. All right, so are there notable improvements in policy or government support?
Yes and no. Yes, because we have the NAPIP, that's the National Integration for whatever. They are trying in real time. They've told local logistic companies to come and enjoy their incentives and their things for them. We also have a lot of them too. We see that the Lekki airport, whatever, they have about 3,000 hectares of land that has been mapped out. Although these things are still on paper, they are not operational yet, but this is the government making direct plans to support logistics. We also have the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which in real time is going to help the decongestion strategy as it takes a lot of time. These are questions we should be asking. Let these things come in place so that the industry can move and thrive, as it were.
Talking about corruption and bureaucracy, right? The inefficiencies, the impact in logistics operations and costs. We have been talking about this matter over and over again. So what can you say about the inconsistencies of all, of the sector?
Yes. One of the problems I think we have as a country is we don't make enough scapegoats. We know how to cut corners when it comes to putting out punitive measures to people who err. There are certain people who love the system as it is, and they don't want it to change. There is nothing wrong in making a scapegoat from people like this so that it creates a deterrent to others. The multiple taxes, where is it coming from? I My company, Somzo Logistics, is operation. I can tell you some of the problem I've had. I had one where I was stopped and asked to pay X amount of money. Okay. So I knew someone, and that was how I got off it. What if I don't know somebody? And there was no issue. So you see, there are people who reap from these lapses. Not everybody will be lucky to have somebody to call and they don't pay any money at all. Okay, so in real time, corruption is like a monster. Like kids, we feed it to growth. We should starve it. We should pick people and then make a scapegoat out of them. And somehow these things ricochet. If you see in Ghana, the sanity that came even within their logistic space and even the economy as a whole during Jerry Rawlings was the high level of punitive administration. And this is what is lacking in our country as it were.
So now what can you say you can offer the logistics company that offers, others do not? What can you offer logistics company that others do not have?
Well, what we bring out at my Somzo Logistics I talk about is this the digital nature of doing everything. We don't even need to meet for things to happen. There's an articulate website, there's everything self-serving, and that is where everybody is going now. You can place your order, get it done, and even track, see how your movement, where it is, and this is what we've put in place for our company. I think other people are not there yet, but it is people are also looking at it, because in real time, if you can have a GPS for your service delivery, you should be able to, the customer should be able to know in real time where their goods are, at what time it will. And if you tell them it's coming at this time, it should come at this time. So I think that is something we have that is not everywhere at the moment.
All right. So we've been talking to Dr. Onyeka Michael. He is a business and logistics expert. Thank you for your time, Doctor.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. We learned so much about the logistics world, and I think I'm considering the business as well.
It's very valuable.
Thank you. When we come back, we're going to be talking to a real estate expert on our second segment. Business Morning, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this is Obu's recommendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
Good morning and welcome to the BDTV Breakfast Show. I am Bethel Obajabi.
My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And this is the social listening segment on the BDTV Breakfast Show.
We're talking about the Fly Nigeria Act. Can you give us a background into what this is about?
We are here today on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to gather opinion about a pressing issue.
I go look at the cost of petrol. We get very Nigeria with the suffer.
The income is not really increasing, but the prices of items are increased.
Nothing like service again, no. You only pray for that money to reach you that month.
There's a lot of high pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of high targets to be met.
I was quite strict. In my mind, I said, looking for my hand, my picking go spoil.
To allow all banks and all the players in the space
15% inflation target achievable in 2025.
The command and vision philosophy of both the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and indeed all the service chiefs.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
Ventures and by country development. They are known.
Business Day is the eye for your products and services.
Leaders at the
Union of Journalists and quarter of 2024 when he took over.
Our neighbors for you or nothing they can do.
Expert opinions on Nigeria. Business Day is your guide.
His shoes are my own cousin. Correctly. One can never say it is. It is important to say, one can never say it is. It is important to say, the money, is it being used? The money, is it being used for the right thing? And if invested, return on invest for the right thing. And if invested, return on investment. If this money is all of a sudden we're going to borrow again, and now the question is where the money is going to go to. From what it is the road, we equip as much as you can. Do you know why? Realize that there is, a structure that will have this money being paid back. Not oil for money. They are giving oil, gold, and so I'm just one way or the other. After these years of putting, so this thing we are crushing. But matter of, life and death.
If you really mean
Business Day is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information. Delivering premium forms, including online with a weekly newspaper possible through print and online channels, enriched with syndicated content, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At Business Day, our mission is clear: in Nigeria, and Africa. We have been committed to accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their.
For being consistent in organizing this
economic shifts, we are
stock price of 12.92 kobo, Union to close at the share price of
which had about 15 companies. Party 2 brings it into what you and then you look at the society, it could be tied to about you do things.
What are some of those challenges you think they will face when they want to award
you run your business?
Situation in comparison.
It's my grandma's business, so when she's an elder person now, so we are coming so deal.
All my taxes from federal, the exact problem